On the 22nd of August 2019, we sent a report paper by recorded, signed for delivery to the 6 members of the Welsh Assembly Government's Children, Young People and Education Committee. This is an example of one of the deliveries to Janet Finch Saunders, which was delivered on the 24th of August. The subject of the report was the misrepresentation of a scientific paper that encouraged playworkers to place Welsh children in life-threatening situations during play. We received a reply dated the 26th of September 2019 from the Welsh Assembly Government Children, Young People and Education Committee. The reply enclosed publications by Play England and the Health and Safety Executive. In her reply, the chair of the committee, Lynn Neagle, quoted Health and Safety Executive guidelines from 2002. HSE understands and accepts that this means that children will often be exposed to play environments which, whilst well managed, carry a degree of risk and sometimes potential danger. Potential danger suggests that children may be placed in positions whereby they will suffer injury. The Health and Safety Executive publication clarifies the position of the Welsh Government, which is that life-threatening play based upon Bob Hughes' misrepresentation of deep play is acceptable for the children of Wales when it states, "Understanding the purpose of risk control is not the elimination of all risk, and so accepting that the possibility of even serious or life-threatening injuries cannot be eliminated, though it should be managed." HSE leaflet, Children's Play and Leisure, Promoting a Balanced Approach, September 2012. Mistakes and accidents will happen. Same source. This is the paper submitted. For the attention of members of Wales Children, Young People and Education Committee. Are our children's lives being put at risk? And is the Welsh Assembly Government party to that risk? This paper is to draw attention to the promotion of deep play as an element in Play Wales's Chwarae Cymru's framework for play work as described in its publication called The First Claim. A component of this framework is the assertion that when adults observe children taking part in deep play, they may perceive it to be extremely dangerous and even life-threatening. In the context of its remit to scrutinise expenditure, administration and policy matters, encompassing but not restricted to the education, health and well-being of the children and young people of Wales, including their social care, the authors of this paper would welcome a response from the committee on the acceptability of a position that allows life-risking activities within its purview. Also, from a parent's perspective, is it reasonable that a third-party play worker, however well qualified, should take decisions in loco parentis that they themselves would not sanction? Background to the report. The Welsh Assembly Government is continually funding an organisation called Play Wales, which they founded in 1997. This organisation is a charity and as such they are not governed by public organisation rules. A good example of this is that they have refused freedom of information request for sources of educational material they have supplied to the Welsh Assembly Government-funded educational service Adult Learning Wales. Adult Learning Wales, in turn, refused to provide the same information based on the fact that Play Wales held the copyright. Both organisations receive the majority of their funding from the Welsh Assembly Government. Further research into the published educational material of Play Wales has shown that the organisation Play Wales are a political organisation whose area of expertise are the politics of why children should play, as opposed to the mechanics of how children play and how children can be supported in their play and recreation as outlined in the UN CRC Article 31 and the Welsh Assembly Government 2014 Statutory Guidance. The result of this support for a political-based organisation is that for the last 20 years, the Welsh Assembly Government have been supporting an organisation whose focus is on the perverted play beliefs of Bob Hughes, not on the quality of play for Welsh children. About Bob Hughes. Bob Hughes is a playwork education specialist who founded Play Education in 1982. Mr. Hughes is the founding father of a style of play called evolutionary playwork. He believes that children are a different species and should play in the wild, benefiting from the evolutionary learning process that wild play without adults brings. The primary objective of his playwork educational material is to encourage playworkers to subject children to survival-type situations which will build survival skills and resilience in children. This, he believes, is the evolutionary process which will benefit humankind and save it from extinction. He believes that every child should experience the wonder of fire daily, and that every child needs to burn their fingers so they understand the power of fire. His opinion of bullying is that it is a form of hierarchy in the playground, and he finds it entertaining that people find it difficult to cope with bullying. He believes that foul language, racism and homophobic abuse are all part of the childhood experience, and play workers should only intervene in negative play situation as a last resort. Bob Hughes' idea of an ideal play area is an adventure playground built by the children themselves, where the fittest and strongest reign supreme and everyone else is literally fighting for survival as adults watch on, entertained by the processes involved. Bob Hughes' methods of play are dangerous to children and life-threatening. He has introduced into the Welsh play curriculum deep play, which is children playing in life-endangering situations. He believes that deep play is essential for the personal development of children. Deep play. What is deep play? Deep play includes a form of play where children are placed into a life-endangering situation where they are learning the value of death through play. In the Welsh Assembly Government-funded publication, The First Claim, the following are given as examples of this aspect of deep play. Children playing in front of traffic. Riding a bike on a parapet of a bridge. Riding a bike through a fire. High tree climbing, especially over rivers or the sea. Play in which the stakes are so high that it is irrational to engage in it at all. Bob Hughes initially identified deep play as a type of play in his work, A Playworker's Taxonomy of Play Types, published by Playlink in 1996. The scientific source of deep play is given as deep play, a description of a Balinese cockfight, Daedalus number 101. Daedalus is an academic journal published in the United States. Deep play was first introduced into the Welsh National Play Curriculum in 2001 by Bob Hughes in the publication The First Claim. Copyright Bob Hughes and Play Wales 2001. This publication is referenced in courses currently run by the Welsh Assembly Government-funded organisation Adult Learning Wales, and the booklet can still be purchased directly from the Welsh Assembly Government-funded charity Play Wales. The Level 2 award in Playwork Practice course points playworkers in the direction of the first claim to help with reflection and close examination of their playwork practice. Tools such as the first claim assessment frameworks, can help with this. The preface is written by Mike Greenway, director, Play Wales, who suggests the contents of the book are evidence-based research. The development of the first claim has been informed by scientific literature and encompasses the evolutionary, adaptational and therapeutic aspects of play. In section 2 of the first claim, page 10, in the chapter titled Risk in a Child's Behaviour, we are told that deep play is essential to children. Although always important, the issue of risk management becomes even more critical when children are participating in deep play. Source Hughes, 1996, A Playworker's Taxonomy of Play Types. This particular play type is essential for a child's personal development. Deep play means that children engage in play which enables them to explore their own range of abilities, develop survival skills, and experience fear and the conquest of fear. On the face of it, when adults observe children taking part in deep play, they may perceive it to be extremely dangerous and life-threatening. This particular play type is essential for a child's personal development. The intermediate framework provides a quality assessment for play workers. Deep play is included in this framework. The more points a play worker scores in the framework, the better the play worker. Therefore, play workers are encouraged to provide deep play to children so that they can score more points and achieve a higher grade. As seen previously, it is essential for a child's personal development. The term deep play, as used in the Play Wales publication The First Claim, is taken from an article dated 1972 in the academic journal Dedalus and written by anthropologist Clifford Geertz, where the author references Bentham. The phrase deep play was coined by Bentham, 1748 to 1832, in his The Theory of Legislation, originally published in French and translated into English by Richard Hildreth in 1840. The source is Stanford University website. The article titled Deep Play Notes on the Balinese Cockfight is about the Indonesian obsession with gambling on cockfights. Geertz, an anthropologist, learned about this illegal pastime during a study visit to Bali in 1958. Deep play refers to adult male gamblers who bet far higher stakes than they can afford to lose in cockfights. Geertz goes on to describe these gamblers as irrational, addicts, fetishists, children, fools, savages who need only to be protected against themselves. Geertz only uses the term children as an adjective to describe these adults as immature. He also states that Bentham thought that deep play should be made illegal. Bob Hughes has taken the term deep play out of context from this article, and we can see from his interpretation of deep play in his book, Evolutionary Playwork. Geertz, 1972, implied that deep play's function might be to bring children alongside mortality so they can learn not to fear death. If we look at the Balinese article and Bob Hughes' definition, we will see that he has misrepresented Geertz's work. The Geertz article does not make reference to children taking high-stakes physical risks. There is no correlation with child's play or children taking life-threatening risks during play in the article. The Balinese cockfight article is about adult males taking high-stake financial risks and not about children taking life-endangering risks. Geertz also states that anyone attempting deep play should be protected from themselves, meaning he did not think that deep play was a good idea. The author Bob Hughes of The First Claim has deliberately targeted an obscure publication and misrepresented its contents to further his standing in the field of play education. He did this in 1996 before the general popularity of the World Wide Web, in the knowledge that it was almost impossible to check his facts without the original publication to hand. However, the modern-day internet now allows researchers to analyse source information more closely bringing misrepresentation such as this into the public domain. To support our analysis that Bob Hughes had misrepresented Goetz's work, we contacted two of Clifford Goetz's former PhD students, both now professors of anthropology in American universities. Lawrence Rosen, professor of anthropology at Princeton University, and George E. Marcus, professor of anthropology at University of California, Irvine. We asked them what they thought Goetz's opinion would be on Bob Hughes's interpretation of deep play. Both professors were in agreement that Hughes had misrepresented Goetz's work. Professor Rosen was of the opinion, "I think the idea that one can encourage or discourage certain forms of children's play based on a simple calculus of an isolated factor does indeed miss Goetz's point, and is rather a perversion of his approach than an application of it." Professor Marcus was of the opinion that Hughes's definition of deep play was a complete distortion of how Goetz thought and developed interpretation. He went on to say that anyone placing children in real danger is reckless. To summarize, two United States university professors of anthropology who knew Goetz personally in an academic capacity believe that Bob Hughes has misrepresented Clifford Goetz's work on deep play. One says it's a perversion, the other a distortion. Both Bob Hughes and Mike Greenaway of Play Wales say that there is ample evidence to support this hypothesis. Their evidence, however, is abstract, not factually based, and cannot therefore be considered as anything more than assertion, belief, or conviction, in the same way that could be said of a cult or sect. For parents to entrust the safety of their children to play workers who support the principle and practice of deep play in a potentially life-threatening context cannot be considered logical or acceptable to them as parents or to society generally. When you consciously risk a child's life, you are not fulfilling a required duty of care. By allowing deep play to remain on the Welsh Assembly government-funded play curriculum, the Welsh Assembly government are failing in this duty of care to the children of Wales. Deep play timeline. In 2001, Play Wales introduced a play curriculum which included deep play. In 2002, the Welsh Assembly government introduced their first play policy which included references to children taking appropriate risks as part of play. Deep play is already on the playwork curriculum, therefore it must be considered an appropriate risk. The 2006 Welsh Assembly Government's Play Policy Implementation Plan is seen to champion risk above the safety of children with a risk versus benefit approach to children's play. 2014, Wales, a play-friendly country, statutory guidance still includes appropriate risk. 2018. We informed the Minister for Children that Play Wales' intentions were to harm children. The Minister refused to investigate our concerns. 5th of July 2019, we provided evidence to Jeremy Miles, AM for Neath, that the Welsh Assembly government policies included deep play. 2019. Deep play is still on the Welsh Assembly government-funded play curriculum. The danger for the Welsh Assembly government is that, inadvertently, they are seen as prepared to sanction unreasonable risk. Mistakes in judgment can and will be made, and children will sooner or later die as a consequence of putting principle before practice. End of report. Author information. Di Richards. Di is a father of 4 and grandfather of 2 who has previously worked in sport and education. He has worked extensively with children in a sporting environment and has successfully run his own company since 1991. In 2016, his first book, Understanding the Origin and Evolution of Sport, was published. Nielsen Kite is a qualified school teacher with specific schools experience in Sweden and Kenya as well as UK, and latterly session lecturer at Gloucestershire and Worcestershire universities. Director of several high-tech businesses and organisations, and trading as an independent business consultant with assignments completed for United Nations, European Union, the DTI and other bodies. Author of Understanding Emotional Intelligence, published by Kogan Page and latterly converted into a USA e-learning program and audiobook. Extensive experience in delivering communications courses to local authorities in South Wales. Contact info removed. Appendix 1. Excerpts from pages 10, 35 and 46 of the first claim. 2. Deep play as part of the Intermediate Quality Assessment Framework on page 31 of the first claim.